Hello everyone, we're back. I even got here at the right time of day. Been spending, hey English man. Been spending a little bit of time around here getting more familiar with the area. It's going to be a lot easier to see everything on pteranodon back as opposed to from the back of the Allosaurus. So at least the Allosaurus was a nice way to see how to get here through the mountains. Actually went back with the Allosaurus and came back here with this guy for a little while. I will be getting that. A yellow ring is a very good one to have. So, what have I been doing? I did spend a little bit of time because I got here like right at midnight, plus I didn't really have the opportunity to record, so I decided to look around down there and maybe grab a little bite to eat. Killed a couple of Spinosauruses. A few Spinosauruses, a 10. I think I might have missed one, it might have been 11. But turns out our high-level Pteranodon does a pretty good job. You just have to be very careful about keeping above the water enough that you don't get dumped in, because once you're dumped in, you're going to be a very sad puppy, because they will eat you. And I've killed all of the low-level Spinos. So, yeah, all that's left is the level 130s plus. I think the highest I went for was a 95, and even then, they took down the health of my guy here down to like 400 or 500. So maybe should probably... I actually bumped up the health since then, so might not take me as far down. But I did have to pause for a little bit, grab a little bit of health back, and then go back and finish the job. Okay. So we can see the wonderful area here. You can see where we started, and I did identify this as a possible area before the last video, and just never found it. Initially, I believe we either went there or up there, but it's kind of too high. You're looking down on everything as opposed to being more in this canyon area. This is nicer. It's also fairly flat. I could build even out down there if I felt like it. There's a water source just below us here. Where's that water source? Right here. I don't know if we're actually going to use it for anything, but we'll see. The other place we looked at was over there on either... I looked at all the ridges on the Pteranodon as well. That ridge is... it's very lumpy. That ridge is a little flatter, but it's also sloped, and that one's kind of too high, though that building up there at the very top, I'm using the top of the Pteranodon's peak there, by the way, is my pointer. That's a pointer, that's why it's there. It's basically to rap on the board when the children aren't paying attention during class. At the top there was fairly good, but I wasn't really convinced. I do kind of like this. One way that this is kind of convenient is this valley here. First of all, there's loads of trees here for building. If we're building a house, I'm going to build it mostly out of wood. And through this valley directly is the way back home. There's also beaver dams in there. It's not too bad. But now that this is landed, let's go down here. Maybe I'll kill a Spino. You do realize that if I try to do that now, I'm probably going to be killed. And or fall in the water and be killed and then also kill my Pteranodon. Though, in theory, my Pteranodon... Actually, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be smart enough to kind of kill a Spino on his own. There's a bit of strategy that you find out. Oh, and yes, yeah, so this is what started it, actually, right here. See the Baryonyx? You might think that a little Baryonyx might not be able to kill a Spino. The Baryonyx was just, like, having at the Spino. So I'm like, well, if he can eat it... In fact, look at that. He's just about to kill it. He almost did, in fact. There was a lot... Oh, there's a levels... Okay, well that wasn't very exciting. Oh, you were helping me. Hello, thank you. I actually like Baryonyxes. I do, at one point, want to tame one. There are so many Spinos here. I mean, how do you think I have now 11 of them, or possibly 12 killed? They're just all over the place. So this, I didn't even see what it was. I think that they're just so fast, too. That's also the tough thing about trying to get them on the... That's 100, so that I hadn't seen before. So since quitting the game and restarting it, it has decided to respawn a whole bunch of Spinos. Let's see what we get here. Seriously? Is this what passes for... I'm not impressed with the drops. I have to say, most of them have been pretty pathetic. Alright, let's have a peek at this spino here. 60, so should be a pretty easy kill. They are tougher on land. Actually, when they're in the water, amazingly they're slower, which is not something, or maybe they're less maneuverable? I don't know. It's not something I really associate with spinos very much. I'm not doing great here though, but you know, I'm a bit out of practice. It's been like, 16 hours, and I can see that I'm already getting hurt. Once the spino starts running like he was there, though, he's got about 3 or 4 hits left in him, and then he's gone. And I've done a pretty poor job here. There we go. You'll get a level almost every time you kill one. As you can see, I got trashed in that. That was far worse than most of my other fights. Mostly because the other ones have been in the water. Honestly, they are pretty easy to take out when they're in the water. That was something I was surprised, because yes, I got kind of whacked the few times I actually fought them on land like that one. Look at that though, 2? I don't even know why he's getting so many levels. I've been putting them mostly into weight. I put some into melee. Well, okay, where do you think we should put it? I should put a little more into health. If I'm going to use him like this, if I'm going to use him like he's actually an attack animal, we should probably put that into health. It is pretty good. I mean, it's a really high level pteranodon, even though it's only a pteranodon. It's kind of fun to play the game without many of the high power dinos, though of course I do have a Allosaurus who's very high level. But this has gone actually fairly well with this guy. I mean, there's such an advantage when you're in the air, because you can just retreat whenever you need to, just like I did there, even though we did win the fight. I guess I have a level as well. As you can see, I've been throwing on a bunch of look, I'm at level 2. Oh, no, that's not me. I'm level 86, or now 87, which is pretty good. I've run out of sort of my standard strategy for adding levels, so I think I'm just going to go to 350 and then put the rest of it somewhere else. Somebody got killed. What was that? And why isn't the spino eating it? Was that like a Diplodocus? Why didn't the spino eat it? Do they only eat fish? So this is the 135, so that is the lowest of the ones that I was used to. There should be, I think there's like 2 135s. Oh, okay, you're damaged too, so we're just gonna take advantage of whatever has already attacked you. That was a 15, so again another, wonder what he attacked. Look, there's another spino. It is amazing how many of them there are here. This isn't really the point, it's 100, so this area is just spawning loads of them, because these are all new since I started up the game just a few minutes ago, which does seem to encourage the game to do a round of up to 13. It does encourage the game. It seems to encourage the game to do a round of just about anything of new generation. I've noticed that even with nodes like ore nodes, definitely with dinos, but also with a number of other things. So we're going to go take a look at some of the interesting places around this canyon here. There's also a fun unfinished area. It's just a little notch. I think this is it right over here. Yeah, you can see it's a little fuzzy, and when you land, you sort of, I thought you sank in a little bit, but you know, it's very squared off. It is very low resolution textures, so this is another little spot on the map that they didn't quite finish up. You could build out here. There are some nice platforms on each side of the bridge here. Careful, the bridge is technically unfinished. I'm sure, actually I have no idea if you can build here, but I grabbed, I think, some odds and ends, yep, from a drop, which I don't really want to be, you can totally build here. Alright, so if you really wanted to make a house here, but let's not fall off. Oh, I forgot I've got him set to follow in case I fell. He also could have knocked me in there. This is nice, it's just not exactly what I'd like. Maybe I'll just stay on his back. I mean, it's a pretty cool view. but it's a little too high. I would like a little more height in it. So this is not ideal. The same goes for this area up here. This is not the murder snow on this map, so it's cold here, but not kill you immediately cold. So it's nice you can still get a couple of cold animals up here. I believe I've seen some mammoths and other, there we go, so they're the mammoths. So if you need to farm your fur so that you can make your nice fur outfits, you can do that. So it says I'm freezing, but if I do, I want to hit the right key here, not do something stupid. I'm just going to do that one. It's -7. It's not horrible. It's actually going down fairly fast, but I mean, I'm not wearing anything really good, so this isn't the murder snow where you'll get that kind of loss of health even with what's it called? Even with fur. So you kind of don't want that. And of course, it's very warm down here, so you can recover very quickly. So there's a lot of interesting dinos you can get around here. I do want a place that I can walk to, so while building on some of these nice central pillars might be nice, the one in the center is actually a spring. And of course there's a whole bunch of nice ore nodes here, which can't complain about, but I mean, I just don't like building on the pillar. It makes you completely dependent on having a flyer, and if you ever do something stupid, which I do practically all the time in the game, and lose access to your flyers and your only option is to tame a new one, yeah, this is not very good. Now, of course, that makes this a decent area, but I don't know if this is removable. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's a little too big. You can probably remove that. But it means that if you're... It's either blocking your ability to... I'll just get him before he flies away. First of all, errors in the map. It's either blocking your ability to use the whole area or you have to work around it, and I'm just not that interested. Textego. Nice. I will probably kill it at some point because it's either going to stay there and despawn, or it's going to drop into the water there and then get eaten by, I don't know, Barry, or maybe this guy. 145, so that's the higher level one. I've tried to fly into some of these waterfalls to see if there's hidden areas, but I haven't done all of them and I haven't found anything yet, so kind of dull. I did make the mistake of not paying attention. Here's one of the ways that you can walk your way down and up, so you can get around if you really want to down to the ground here, but at this point I'd rather fly, or I suppose have something strong like the like our Allosaurus. I did make the mistake of letting letting this guy run out of his stamina once. Luckily, and there was something in the area, I don't remember what it was, but luckily you can still attack even if you're out of stamina, so I could just sort of beat the thing back, whatever it was, and then wait a little bit for the stamina as it ran, and then saved myself. So don't forget that when you're out of stamina, as long as you... And we landed on land, not on water. If it was on water, I don't know if you can recover from that. Will he sit? You know, I have no idea. I have no idea if that works. I don't want to try it. So let's see what's in here. I would like to get some high-level cloth armor, just because I kind of like it for flying around on these guys. You don't really need armor, but having a little bit helps. I got attacked by some bugs, and it was nice to not be dead after the bug attack. No armor. Sleeping bags and these things are always welcome. The rest of this can go. Take the meat. I've been blasting through meat on the pteranodon to keep him healthy while fighting the spinos. And it was more just for fun, honestly, getting levels. I got loads of levels on the pteranodon. I got a ton of levels for myself, probably at least 10 for myself, maybe 15 for the pteranodon. I have to go back to the previous video and look to see what he started at. But this area is very picturesque. There's lots of places you can build. You can get access, obviously, right here. But it's like it's not super flat. Like, this would be a fairly decent place to build. It's kind of a nice view. You've got a lot of views of the waterfalls here. definitely having them put the pteranodons in here has been really nice because it gives a lot of sense of space in here with them flying around. There's some interesting things under the water as well. I think there's a couple of spots where there's some like obvious splashes where there really shouldn't be any, and they're calling your attention to something that's under the ground, but I haven't, sorry, under the water, but I haven't spent the time to find out which ones are which. Level 20, level 60, these should be fairly easy to kill. I'm just not going to deal with it right now. Yeah, it's just, oh, you see, there's like 4 or 5 spinos, like just right here. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So they're just 6 spinos. The toughest thing might be clearing out, keeping the spawns down. I suppose if you stay in the area, that'll work, is so that you can tame one. I definitely would like to get a level 140 or 150. I've never tamed a spino. I'll probably just tame it in a box like I did for the Allosaurus. But I think we're going to try this area for building. I don't think I'll do the direct building, the base on camera, because I think it's going to be tough figuring out where to make sure everything fits so that I can get a big flat area. I also don't, I want to make something that looks vaguely like a conservatory. So maybe with a little less glass on the bottom, but with like sort of the glass dome on the top. So that's what I'm looking for. That's why I grabbed the crystal when I did. I probably don't have nearly enough crystal. I'll have to find more on the map, but there is a reasonable amount. I think the problem with crystal is that the spawn rate is slow and you have to be in the area for it to spawn. So we'll see. Maybe off camera I'll head back to the crystal areas to see. I found a tiny little crystal area. Oops, that is not the map. A small crystal area all the way up in the corner, sort of towards the edge of the map as I'm pointing, sort of in that first quadrant between a little below 20 on the latitude there. But it was just a tiny amount. It was like 15 or 20 crystal. I don't even think you can make a single window with that. So design is going to be fun. As I've mentioned before, I'm not great with design. Okay, so we've picked this area. These rocks are choppable, so I'll be able to get rid of all of these. They're going to give me sand. And sure, I could build something with adobe, but I have no idea where the cactuses are on this map. I don't even know if there are cactuses on this map. There should be, because I believe all the way, like that quadrant of the map, that bottom right quadrant is all desert, so one would assume there's some there, but who knows, who knows. In any case, this is the part we picked. What I'll probably do is do a caravan with the Allosaurus, who I've also tossed a bunch of levels to weight in, him leading the 2 pteranodons over here, and we'll take most of the useful things like metal and crystal here and a few odds and ends, but I mean we haven't really made a whole lot of things back there at home. We can get everything here and just make it again. So this is our choice. I do like this area. It gives us lots of access to other places, and it's a pretty nice view. And the best thing about the view is that it was so intensive on my other video card that I had to swap it out for a slightly better one that I had in another computer, just so we wouldn't drop frames here. So with that little detail out of the way, this has been fun, and I'll talk to you soon. Alright, so it's a nice day for it, so let me explain. I didn't plan this. This just happened. So what actually happened is I have pretty much everything ready to go for the move. I got everything organized, everything looks good, cleared out all of everybody's inventory, and there were a couple of drops, so I went up to go look at them. It was at night, and I see interesting bands of lights down below, and I go down and look, and there are 2 Tech Rexes there, one low level one and one relatively high level one, which is this 114, and I'm like, well, let's just see. So I loaded up this guy. Actually, I put some stuff together to fix the taming thing that we use for the Allosaurus. This is big enough to contain a Rex. You can see I upgraded parts of it, the base and the wall that was almost completely damaged. Let's actually take a look here. So he cannot damage stone at all. That is good to know. But as you can see, there's a little bit more damage to the rest of it. So I didn't really plan for that. I kind of thought maybe I could knock him down before he'd do a lot of damage, but Rexes do a lot of damage. As it turns out, I did get him trapped. I mean, that was easy enough. He spawned way over there. Actually spawned farther away than where the Allosauruses did. But, you know, they're easy enough to kite over here. He likes to chase you. He just ended up in here. I poked him through 3 or 4 shots with the crossbow here. And then he broke out. And I'm like, oh, okay, run away. So I hopped in my bird, went up there. Like so. And I didn't even look behind me, so there could have been anything over there, but this is a pretty safe place. And he proceeded just to eat that for a long time. And until he actually started running because his health was too low, I just put like 60 or so of these things in. Luckily that is not a Metasaurus, otherwise he would have been taking some bites out of there, and there goes my taming efficiency. Not that I care too much about this. I mean, it isn't that great. It's not like a level 150, but because it's a tech Rex, I'm always kind of interested. I always think I'm hearing things. Which are, you know, like things that are trying to eat it or bite it, or like little compies. There actually was a compy here right when I took him down. So I'm like trying to be quiet listening for something, but there's nothing here. In any case, he ran, he started running, so I just chased him a little bit. The nice thing about when they're running is they don't attack you, including like walking right. It's funny, they walk right by you, and they look at you, they're like, ooh, hello. Let's put this down just in case. They're like, ooh, hello, sir. And they just keep on walking. They're like, oh, okay, done. But took care of him. He obviously knocked him out right here. I was always worried about them knocking out in the ocean. I have had enough tames go into the ocean and then conk out that I'm a little salty about it. So this guy, he needs to be down, I think, 14 food, so that's 700, 14 bites, which is 700 health. So he's getting there. He's only about 150 down right now, but that's going to have to get down to about 6,800, 6,600. Whatever, 6,800. My brain isn't working right now. And I'll be able to feed him the, what is it? The cooked high quality meat, the cooked prime. I don't think I'm going to have enough opportunity to grab a lot of sort of prime meat, just regular prime from somewhere else. I don't even remember. There's 1 or 2 things I can give you. You can get them from carnivores, which are around here, or some are around here. They're kind of up in the mountains over there, but wasn't really that great. Let me see. Oh yeah, I already cleared it out. There's the leftovers from the other arm. Oddly enough, you can get normal-looking Tyrannosaurus arms from a Tech Rex. Who knew? But for this, I don't think I'm going to leave him alone, because this area has been kind of empty for a long time since the Allosaurus was here and he killed everything. There have been no spawns in this area, which is weird, of course, because as I mentioned previously, there were tons of spawns for the Spino area. I mean, it has something to do with how long you're in the area, and I didn't really spend a whole lot of time here, but I don't want to run the risk of just leaving for a while, gathering up a whole bunch of raw prime meat, and then coming back. I would need to gather less. I think I'd need to gather 8 or 9? Probably 9. But it's just not worth it, so I'm just going to wait for him to get down to 6,800. We're only down 200. 5 more to go. Anyway, we're obviously not going to wait here for that, or I'm not going to wait on camera for that. I probably will just wait in the area, though we'll see. If I get antsy, I'll take the pterosaur, pteranodon around and see what we can find. But in any case, this is a new thing. I haven't even looked at his weight. See, weight, even for something as big as he is, it's not great. But hopefully he'll get, I mean, frankly, I wouldn't even mind if he got 0 more in stamina, sorry, 0 more in health, and like they all go to stamina and weight, but I'm sure we're not going to get quite that lucky. But I figured he would also be a pretty good cow for just taking some more things with us across the mountains. He'll also be a good attack dog in case something decides to get a hold of us. There is a level 145 therizinosaur in there, which frankly I would like to tame instead of kill. So I'm just hoping that we'll be able to walk by, but I don't know if therizinos will tolerate our presence. It'll probably want to attack the pteranodons though. With the lack of weight capacity of the pteranodon with this guy and the Allosaurus, I'm not even sure I'm going to take them. Might make it a little easier to go through. I could see it'll be fun to see who's a little more maneuverable through the mountains, but in any case, this one was pretty interesting. He doesn't have the best colors in the world, but this is by far the best Tech Rex that I've had the opportunity to try to tame. I think the first one I did was on my very first Scorched Earth save. It was a level 4. I still have it in that save, but it is the most useless dinosaur ever. It is so horrible. It's actually worse than a low-level pteranodon because you can at least manage with these and throw. They'll carry you. They'll have a little enough. They'll have enough stamina, and you can just up the stamina and do okay with that. At least get you somewhere else. These are so slow, and the stamina wears out after, like a low-level one of these, the stamina will wear out after about 10 seconds. You can't get anywhere with it. It's so useless. That's also why I don't really tame these guys much, because I guess I've been sort of scarred a little bit by that first Rex. But we'll see how this guy goes. We'll take him out for a ride when he's done. I'll probably cruise around in the mountains up that way. I don't want to punch, otherwise I might hit him, so let's just stay away from that. In fact, he shouldn't even be pointed at him. I have had one of my dinos, when eating, do damage because they were too close. I had a level 150, so a max level Carnotaur, knocked out in the central area on the island map and in a safe place, and I had either a pteranodon or a what's it called, or a raptor sitting right about here, and he went down to eat and did damage to it, and there went about 35 or 25 levels. And you know, that really makes you angry. Any case, we've got this guy waiting for us. That's pretty good. I am quite happy with that. I love how he's labeled there. Like, you have the pteranodon in the background. It's like, what you have is a pteranodon, and he's, you know, he's not very airworthy. This airframe is not really very good. But in any case, we're probably good to go with this guy. He won't even wake up, so I don't even need to use any more of my narc. But I just made 100 trank arrows, and I brought a bunch with me and my backup bow, which is good because, as you can see, this one has 4 shots left on it. So this time I actually remembered to take enough things with me, and looks like it would have been okay without it, but you know, let's just not take quite as many chances as as I usually do. Alrighty, I will come back probably after I've gotten some time with this one to get some levels and to see how long it's going to last, and maybe, seeing as this is going to be a little more fun, I might take these two through the mountains, this guy and our Allosaurus through the mountains when we go to the new location, and we'll see how that goes. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Hello everyone, this is about where we left off before I took that little break to get our new T-Rex. I did take him out for a little bit of a walk, actually walked him around the areas around here. got him a bunch of levels. I think it's up about 30 levels from when it started. It's, it's a little slow. We put some levels on him, and he did perfectly fine, and we'll be using him as pack mule. I made a test here just to see how many spaces I could get while being flat, and while this kind of worked, you can see there's a saddle here and saddle shape, and it's not really a saddle. I can't ride it. Giddy up, giddy up. This isn't really going to work well enough. I would have to build up on this side. This is nice and flat. I could maybe build something more along this axis, but still there's like a little bump up at the end. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I would think, oh, that's not too bad of an idea. We'll go, ooh, that has a little ring around it. We'll be checking that out. I'm still going to leave this here. I mean, there's no point in getting rid of it. It doesn't cost very much to test the ground with these. You can see it's not even well supported there. It's kind of funny. With these thatch foundations. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I still might build something here later, but maybe just like a little base, so there's kind of no need to. I did find some place that I think is better. So first of all, this view here is good. You're really not going to be able to build right to the edge unless I make like a little deck that steps down or something like that. So you really can't just walk out and get this as your immediate view. And that's fine too, because that would just get boring after a while. Maybe. Okay. Let's go see where we went. You can see I brought both the Tyrannos here, had one following for the other just so we could bring more stuff. We've got a bunch of stuff here. I should probably bring it over to the other place, but there's no need to do that because we're not really going to do a lot of building on screen. I just sort of want to show you what we're up to. How far? That's about to land, so let's take a little bit of a detour. There's a lot of area here. I do like the look of this area, sort of using the top of my Pteranodon's crest as an example. It's nice. It looks nice. It's still not clear to me whether any thylas are hanging out in those trees. I don't think so, because I've chopped a few down that look like that. And the trees that the thylas spawn on the island map, you absolutely cannot chop down. So I'm pretty sure that is there aren't any thylas there. I would like to find them because I like them a whole lot. Okay, it landed here. A number of these are bugged, I found out, on this map, and you just can't access them. Well, I've also done a bunch of stuff, which means that I'm level 92, which is quite high, so... Ooh, Ebling Plateaus. Oops, maybe I should actually grab things. So, I don't mind getting these higher end things. I'm not really using them. Ghillie boots, that's nice. Hey! You can use that. That's pretty nice. Can I drink here? I can't. Can I drink here? Yes, I can. So that's kind of nice. No, I can't. I was trying to fill up my... So this isn't real water. I can't... Yeah, I can't fill up my water bag there. Hey. How about a more protective saddle? It's not super great, but it's almost 3 times as good. That's, nothing to shake a stick at. Alright. That's nice. That's actually the first piece of useful stuff I've gotten in a while. I like traveling with Pteranodons with this very light armor, and I've got all these from, I think mostly, I mean they're all from monster drops, but I think mostly from, oh, what are they? From Carnotaurs. I'm trying to resist killing all of these because they do give good resources. Okay. Let's go back up to the top. Our old area, so we come through these mountains, so our old area is this plateau right up here, which isn't quite big enough. The place where we're going is over here. This is a nice area. You'll see some things pop into view pretty soon. And it's there they go. And it's pretty flat, so you can see I've built this 2 or 3 times. It seems that I've got something that can go about this wide, about this long, and about this wide, because this isn't really too high here. I still don't know exactly how the structure is going to fit, But this looks pretty good. I'm actually probably going to keep this. You can't get rid of, oddly enough. You can't gather these things. So I'm going to try to integrate them into the build. I want them actually visible with the ground available. So we'll see. We'll see if I can do that. It's something you can always destroy later if you want to remove some of these bases here. So this is where we're going. The look here of this area, though, is very nice. So you have this nice little change of the biome here from the grassy up to the more old growth tree biome here, like the redwood biome. You've got some nice animals here, a nice variety of animals here. It looks like, I believe those are probably raptors. No, yeah, there's quite an, hey, let's go flying. Walk, 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 walk. I love this game, especially for that. The whole, oh look, it's another one of those. The whole, okay, so that one's dead. We're certainly going to grab, hey, 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 it's mine. Stupid bugs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Am I gonna get hit? No, 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 they're still fighting that guy. It's interesting that the, this little blue tip, there he goes. I was wondering who's gonna get involved. I do kind of want, oh, they got it. Okay, well, I'll eat this one. No, I guess I won't. I got nothing. I got nothing there. Except a little bit of pain. Yeah, there's no other, oh, this stupid bug is chasing me still. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, he's a tough cookie. He's a little smaller than a cookie though. I need actually to sit and get my stamina back. So let's hang out with this guy. Let's see how long it takes before he bumps us off the edge here. No, that's good. Alright, we're alright. I don't anticipate, I don't know, those stegos should be able to take care of everything down there. I'm curious to see who's going to win. But there should be, and the thing is you won't even see a dead spino because it'll run. So who's left? Is still in the water. Yeah, the problem, yeah, well. Oh well, that's too bad. The problem is I don't know which spino this is, if it's the 140 or whatever. And his health will be very high because he's just eaten all the other stegos. So the advantage is that they don't seem to attack very well when I'm in the water. The disadvantage is that he's going to, he just healed. You heard him just eat the stego, which means he's healed up fully, and I'm down halfway on my health. Down to third on my health and halfway on my stamina, so that's just not going to work. And I'm pretty sure that that is one of those 145. So I'm going to take a look. 135. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with him for right now. It's interesting. I guess they don't attack the Diplodocuses here, so they can sort of chill together. But it also seems that the Spinos have a very small targeting radius. Like, I've been really close to one before and kind of nervous about it. He seems kind of to ignore. It's probably mostly because they hang out in the water, so they're always targeting anything else in the water, which is like all the fish. Okay, so how are we going to get our walking dinos over here? I was maybe thinking about saving that until later, but actually, because we're on the other side of the canyon here. Are we still in the Erebus Plateau? Where is that? Oh, the Burning Mists, even better. All these places have their little micro names. Okay, actually there's a pretty straightforward way to walk through here, which is nice. So you can go by here. You're actually going, look at how amazingly square this is. Well, you know, it's not perfect. There is a nice waterfall that you can hang out behind. There's actually 2 levels here. However, if you get down to this level, you're really not going to get out of here in any way unless you're flying. I should gather this crystal. Actually, now that I have storage locally, I should grab all of this crystal so it can respawn, because of course I'm going to need a lot of crystal with my build. It's a little more dangerous here. You can see these guys coming after me. But not really. I mean, these are pretty easy to eat. But you have a nice bridge. So we can actually bring our... It's funny, there's actually a broken bridge here. So we can bring our... Well, it's just rocks. Okay, just curious. Yeah, we can bring all of our walking dinos this way. In fact, this was one of the areas... It's a little lower, but this was one of the areas I was looking at earlier, so... It's not bad, but it's just a little lumpier than the area where we're building now. There's also less bit of a back area here for other structures. It's quite a bit less scenic. I have to say the look in our little area over there is very nice. I have few complaints, which is why I like it so much. So what I'm going to do is move all of our stuff over from this base, this little mini base over here. What are these? Just little spots, just little sandy spots. That's all they are. And we'll leave this here for now. We'll take the pteranodon over. And once I rough out, well, probably for the next full video, I will rough out the base and get the shape of the build worked in, because I absolutely need that before anything else can happen. I don't want to commit to doing more than literally just these foundations, and I'm going to be using a lot of triangles, so the square bits are going to be with thatch because they're the cheapest square bits, but there are no thatch triangles, so I will have to be using quite a few trees for the parts of the foundation which are triangle, which will just be done in wood. And luckily there's tons of trees around here. They will all respawn, so that's perfectly fine. And we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, I think we've got a good place to sit. And then I will definitely record our trip with... I'll probably leave one pteranodon here, fly back with one, and then I'll take the relatively slow Rex and the Allosaurus through the mountains, and we'll have some fun. Maybe I'll even take it through the mountains over there, because that's where I went with the Allosaurus and... Sorry, where I went with the Rex earlier. And fun fact with the Rex, I ate my first griffin with the Rex, so that was pretty cool. Anyhow, maybe I can tame the next one, but I will talk to you all soon when we get the base of the base completed. Enjoy!